talking with the kids on this planning now in October. And, you know, if you can take their interest and it's something that you can use to hook them and get them excited about your subject between now and March, April, it's just one more thing that come April, you know, we can really nail those kids down and get them doing what they're passionate about. So we're looking at doing something very similar, and I'm glad to know somebody else has done it successfully.
Well, and what makes sense on that handout you handed out is like this one that gives kids specifics of jobs that go under each category. If they start there and get something that interests them, then moving to this one is pretty easy because you can kind of tell where you fit. And then this lays it out year by year. So about those three put together, I think it can make pretty good sense to them.
So are we
We'll
going
just have to
all the
figure
way
out.
through high school or just for the next year?
You just have to do the next year.
Okay.
This year, next year. Check this year, and because I can tell you whoever has my daughter to do a PGP on, what we put last year in October, that's not the course that she's in this year in 8th grade.
Yes, that would be me.
Okay, there you
Remember,
go.
we kept sending it back and forth and back and forth.
So, what we put last year is not what she's in, and hey, that's okay. We're doing it in pencil, right? Coach Bromfield, we're doing pencil, because it's a living, breathing document.
Warren, let's say that the 8th graders, they're doing an 8th grader this year, and it's already written in, and they just put it over to the side, they do it, I'll do it for them.
Just put it over to the side.
Do we need a basic freshman schedule?
Yeah, every freshman will basically take English 1, biology, and if you want to jot this down. If they're a
Is it
freshman,
biology
they're
or
probably
math,
going to take English 1, biology. If they're not a very good science student, then they're probably going to take IPC. So if you ask them, hey, are you a good science student? And they say, no, I stink at it. They're probably going to be an IPC student, but if you write that and we change our mind later, it's okay.
So it's biology or IPC?
Biology or IPC, but most of them are going to do biology. World geography,
Those are all freshman courses?
those are all freshman courses.
I think I have to vote that.
And
Algebra?
Algebra 1, unless they're in it right now, and then it's going to be geometry. So everybody's going to be in those. And then you would say, if Tammy and I were, here, I'll model real quick with Tammy, and we're going to be real quick, Tammy, okay? You're going to be in English 1 next year. Are you a really good English student, or are you in pre-AP this year?
No.
Do you think you're going to want to do some summer reading and be in pre-AP? No. Okay, English 1, regular. Are you in algebra this year?
No. Oh, yeah. it is.
Yes. Okay, you're in algebra this year, then you're going to be in geometry next year.
Yes.
You are, Tammy. I picked the most stubborn student in the room, don't I? Okay, how about science? Are you you love science? Okay, biology. What do you think? Should you do pre-AP biology? Because you love it that much?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a shot. Okay, so pre-AP biology. World geography. What do you think? Everybody's got to take it, Tammy. So, do you
Maybe
think?
the easy one since I'm taking pre-AP.
Okay, so you want to do pre-AP biology and pre-AP geometry, so we're going to put you in regular world geography, so I write that down. Then I say, Tammy, what kind of job do you think you would want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a vet.
You want to be a vet. And so I go to this and I look and I see that on this form, vet is under the business and industry, and it's under animal systems, so you want to be in the business and industry endorsements. Okay, if you want to be a vet, then you probably need to take an intro to ag class. Okay, so I write intro to ag. What else, are you an athlete?
Yes.
Yes, so you want to try out for volleyball?
Yes.
Okay, so volleyball, I'll write that on there. How many am I up to? 6. Tammy, we're at 6, you get to do 2 more things. Are you in band or choir?
Band.
You're in band, okay, so let's put band on there. Okay, so you got one more thing. Is there anything else that you're interested in? Yeah, sleep's not an option. Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that you want to go to college, probably?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so did you take Spanish in junior high with Miss Brown?
No.
So you'll be in Spanish 1, and we put that on there, and we picked your 8 classes. We've picked an endorsement field, and we're done. She signs it, I sign it, Mom and Dad sign it, and really we're done. See how easy that was?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it was
So you, now,
They chose in college, in high school, and have that.
fast forward, it's now April. Tammy decides she hates animals. She hates band. And the coach is a jerk.
I like to eat.
She likes to eat.
Culinary.
Culinary. Yeah, let's get you into culinary. Do you see what I'm saying? She's not putting it in blood. It's okay. We better get, if you like to eat, we better get you an L. So, you get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Any other questions for Carrie before we wrap up? Okay, Brenda sent an email out earlier about the sporting events that somehow got misplaced, and so she's asked if you knew what those dates were to write or send them to her. She's written down what people have sent to her, but the sheet is over here, so everyone needs to sign up except for unless you're a coach or a cheer coach and you're always at games, everyone needs to sign up for one sporting event. I've added basketball on there, but it wasn't there at the beginning of the year because we didn't know the dates, so if you don't remember your dates and basketball's one of the things you would like to go to, it's on here. And then also, I think everybody signed in on the sign sheet, but if you didn't, it's here. And I asked everyone to write one appreciation note to someone, and you can sign it or not, but I need to know who it goes to because I'm gonna share this. Anything else for the group?
home games?
These are home games, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's going to get more people in the visitors.
Oh, sure. For those in
Okay, a week from Friday, on the 25th, Patty Leak, Jennifer Seaton, and myself will be doing Texas Middle School Fluency Assessment testing on 7th graders. It's a state law that we do this test on any 7th grader who failed the 6th grade reading STAR. We will be doing it in the library that morning. The library will be closed
Oh, what date
to
is that?
students, the 25th.
Oh, we're already on that,
Yeah.
yeah.
We will be pulling them from electives. Students will come, I will publish the schedule with all teachers, but students will also get a pass and about what time they need to come to the library. It will take about 10 minutes per student. So, just keep that in mind. A week
You
from
should
Friday.
just pull them off from my classes.
I'm pulling a lot from your classes.
I mean, during my class period.
I'm pulling a lot from your class periods.
I have them all, 'cause I didn't.
most of them.
Most of them.
Oh, hard test to get.
And then Tammy wants to talk to you about some tutorial forms I think that you might know a little bit about, so.
Okay, for those of you that are new, this is basically for you because everybody else has seen this before, but all athletes every week get a tutorial slip if they have below a 75. I'm gonna do it a little differently than we did last year, I hope. I'm gonna do it today and then I'm gonna get permission later or not. But I'm gonna print out basically their progress report for your class if it's below a 75. And you will have to sign saying that they came in for tutorials. When I print that off, it'll have, for example, so you won't have to go to your grade book. Like if you're looking at me, you'll be able to say you had a 0 on such and such assignment, so you can pull that out and work on it. That way you don't have to go in your grade books and look up what so-and-so missed for your class. So I'm hoping I get that okayed with my superiors. I don't know if I can or not. Because we have this little form that you're supposed to sign saying, Tammy came to class, she worked on,
Superior's
Quiz
Coach
number
Perry,
1.
right? Because we talked about it already.
yes, superiors as in Coach Perry. So it'll say, like, quiz 1, she made a 0 on, more than likely I didn't do it, so I make that up. That way you don't have to go back in your grade book and figure out why I'm in your class for my 75 or below. And then next to it, it'll say Jeff Brumfield, so you'll sign next to his name saying I came in and did that. If they have below a 75 and they've got everything turned in, they still have to come to tutorials. Some of you, it'll be 2 times a week, like if I'm missing my assignment from Mr. Brumfield and he's the only one, I'd have to go see him twice. If there are 3 or 4 teachers, then they've got to be able to come to you guys and get that assignment corrected or made up. And you have to sign off to let us know that they did that.
So they would come at that 7:45 time?
They would come at that 7:45 time unless you have a different time, like, that you want them to come for tutorials.
We have students who come in at 8:01 and just want that signed because they're told,
No.
what they say to us is, we were told we just have to show this to you and get you to sign it.
That is not
So,
correct.
that is not correct. They have to come for a tutorial, they have got to make arrangements to be there during our tutorial period.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't know when the boys are going to start theirs, so don't ask, but I gave my girls today. So they might come see you tomorrow. Some of them might have talked to you today already. I just wanted to give y'all a heads up that I've passed them out today.
And I briefly talked to Coach Tomlin today, and he said they're working on it, so I'm assuming that's coming soon.
And I'm gonna try to get this out.
Darth Vader's back.
Yeah. Attendance. Make sure that if you have a student that comes from the nurse and you've marked them absent, you correct that in your attendance. Tardy, present, you correct that. If it's within about 15 minutes, you correct that in yours. Okay? For our coaches, UIL, anybody that plans on taking a field trip of any form or fashion, need 2 things turned in. 1, the students you're planning on taking prior to the trip, a couple days prior. If it's your team, it's probably set. The second thing I need is when you get on that bus, I need to know which students are on that bus. Present or absent. I don't want your roll sheets with who might be on the team. I want to know who's on that bus. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't want to know that we had little Johnny was absent from school and he was supposed to be going and he didn't get on your bus. And he didn't come to school because he was sick. And there's a bus accident. Little Johnny's not on that bus and I don't know where he's at. Okay? We just had an accident in the state. Need to make sure that your records are up to date and all that. Last thing on attendance, and then I'll answer questions individually. Your subfolders need to have an up-to-date roster of your students in there. When you send, your sub has to write all present and sign their initials. That tells me that one of 2 things. They couldn't find your roll sheets or there were no roll sheets. And I'm hoping it's not, it's the first one, they couldn't find them and they're there. Okay? I have to know who is there and who is not there, not a signed paper from a sub or something. Run your roll sheets and have a copy in your subfolders.
And I have in the weekly, not that's about to come out, but the next weekly, the things that should be in a subfolder. So, and I don't think everyone is caught on to the importance of reading the weekly. I know they're fairly lengthy, they're 2 pages with lots of graphics, but, and you get them on Friday when you're tired and ready to go home, lots of stuff in there that you need to know. I don't just write them because it's fun. So, like for example, we hand out progress reports for the 4th period today, but people didn't know that because they didn't read the weekly. So, I don't have to tell you stuff I put in there, so please read it.
Does the office not give our subs the rosters? Did they used to do that? Yeah.
Yes, they do. They usually.
My son came with her rosters already. And I was
Brenda always runs
I'll
off.
check.
And I heard them in the office. I happen to be going down there. Somewhere maybe in the sub, we need to get something that 2nd period, the sub waits until 10 o'clock. They sign their name and put 10 and send it at 10 o'clock. They have to sign their name and put the time because Miss Wyndham had me take something back to a sub one day. So if
That
they weren't.
should be in your procedures in your class.
You still need to have roll sheets and those up to date, because if you step out and leave for a class period or something, we put someone in there and they're gonna do roll.
Right.
They need to be able to look at a roll sheet.
Right,
Whether
exactly.
it's the sub comes in there or not, you need to have who's in that class every period of the day. So you're once a 6 weeks, you might wanna update your roll sheets. We move kids in and out of your classes at times. They change because of schedules. They just need to be updated. Need to be updated. And those of you taking field trips, I need to know who's on that bus. Not who you think is getting on that bus. I need to know who's on that bus.
Anything else for the good of the group?
I just want to ask a question. Last year when we did the PGPs, we actually had a list of the high school courses that, you know, so we could look through and pick like algebra 1, and we actually had
That was
those.
probably in the spring though, wasn't it?
It was the PGPs.
So you already know for the 8th grade, I mean, you know that it's the 4 core that she mentioned and then whatever the electives are that they would choose. Right?
Or if I know all my, if I had just had a piece of paper that said.
It does right here. Languages, you have to have 2.
Okay, what about the 7th for the 8th graders, so like all our electives? We have a list of the parents.
Oh, our here.
Yes, because I'm 7th grade.
Yeah.
We have that.
You
already have that.
Okay.
I think it's in the handbook. Of
We'll
course
get
it's,
something. I'll get a page that will work.
anything else? Okay, we try not to meet every week. I know we're about 5 minutes over. We started at 4:05, so I'm sorry that I kept you a little late, but I want to get it all in because we don't meet every week. So thank you, and make sure you sign up for sporting events.